Knicks family, what's poppin' with you, man? Tough loss tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Tough loss tonight. And you can feel it in my energy right now. That was a deflating loss, a bad loss by the New York Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot, I repeat, you can't lose to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Not in the midst of a playoff battle, you can't. The Knicks started off the game and it felt like they were going to dominate this game, ladies and gentlemen. They jumped out to an 18-point lead. Then in the second quarter, they gave it all back. They let Minnesota get loose from the three-point line. They threw some bad passes and allowed Minnesota to get some easy, fast break points. The Knicks played lethargic in the second part of that second quarter. They went to the half, 51-50. The Knicks were up 51-50. They come out in the third quarter, and they look like Tom Thibodeau lit into them and was letting them know, hey, if you plan to be a playoff team, can't play this way. And they came out and they played with some energy. They played with some fight. But then, ladies and gentlemen, they took a 12-point lead, 13-point lead. Then in the fourth quarter, Minnesota, they turn up the defense. The Knicks look lethargic again, start turning the basketball over. Big turnover by everybody. Let's just say that. I don't even want to pinpoint one person. Everybody seemed like everybody turned the ball over in the final minutes of the game and allowed Minnesota fast break points, easy buckets, compounding turnovers with and one fouls. It's a terrible display of basketball. And then we come out of a timeout. We're down 102-101. Run a play. We get it to RJ Barrett. He goes to the basket. But when he went to the basket, ladies and gentlemen, he didn't look like he was going to the basket to score. He looked like he was going to the basket to pass it off. You gotta go aggressively to the basket, looking to score. Bangs the ball off his knee, goes out of bounds. Minnesota gets the ball. They give it back to us. We get a chance to take the lead. Julius Randle misses a pull-up jump shot at the foul line. Taj Gibson and everybody, they tussle and they fight for the basketball. The Knicks end up with the ball back with 5.1 seconds left in the game. RJ Barrett gets a decent look at it over the outstretched arms of Karl Anthony Towns, and it just rims off the front. Bad loss by the Knicks, 102-101. Bad loss. Bad loss, man. It's a good thing that other people in the conference lost as well. But it's still a bad loss by the New York Knicks. Anthony Edwards, he looked like Rookie of the Year tonight. I could tell you that. Looked like a Rookie of the Year tonight. Played good basketball. He had 24 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. He had 3 blocks. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to talk about it when we get a little bit later, but this play that the Knicks do with guys penetrating down the left side of the lane, and the way that they penetrate down the left side of the lane is kind of slow. It's not really fast. You know, you're kind of using your body to bang people off of you. Teams understand what they're doing, and they're stuffing it back down their throat every time they do it. Multiple players. Anyway, Jaden McDaniels, I like this guy coming out of the draft. I wanted the Knicks to find a way to get this guy coming out of the draft. He had 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Karl Anthony Towns had 18 points and 17 rebounds, along with 6 assists and 2 blocks. Malik Beasley, he had 20 points, 1 rebound. Ricky Rubio, he had 9 points and 7 assists. Jalen Noel, he had 4 points. Jordan McLaughlin had 2 points. Naz Reid had 6 points and 3 rebounds. As for the New York Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, they were led by R.J. Barrett. R.J. Barrett they were led by Julius Randle. Julius Randle had 26 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists. But it wasn't enough. Shot 11 for 20 from the field, 2 for 5 from the three-point line. But I didn't like the way Julius Randle played defense tonight. Too many times, Jaden McDaniels was left open out the three-point line, or other people left open out, other big men left open out the three-point line. Or Jaden McDaniels, make a nice move to get down the lane. I felt we slept on the kid. I didn't. But I think the Knicks did. R.J. Barrett had 23 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And he had all kinds of trouble with Anthony Edwards late in the game. All kind of trouble. I think Anthony Edwards found out that he was just as strong as R.J. Barrett, and he used his body and his size to get past R.J. Barrett plenty of times in tonight's game. Elfrid Payton had 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. 2 costly turnovers down the stretch of the game. Alec Burks, he had 13 points and 3 rebounds. He had a costly turnover to Anthony Edwards that led to an and one. Man, that down the stretch of this game was just terrible, terrible, terrible. Taj Gibson battled. I got to give it to Taj. He battled. He had 7 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 blocks. He battled for us tonight. Manuel quickly had no points. Obi Toppin had 3 points. Tough night. It's a tough one to swallow, ladies and gentlemen. It's a tough one to swallow. I don't know what else to say, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a tough one to swallow. I don't like this kind of a game. Please subscribe to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Ring that notification bell. And you'll be notified anytime I go live, drop a video, or post in my community section. And please, 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 make sure you smash that like button right now. Right now, we got Big Bubba here with us. Cornerstone is with us, but he's not in the building right now. He'll be back in the building in just a couple of seconds, or a couple of minutes, whatever you want to say. But we're going to talk about this game, man. And, the Knicks, they gotta get back. They gotta get it back together. They gotta get that fight back, because they didn't have it. They didn't have it. And it can't be in and out. It's got to be there. Big Bubba, what's popping, man?
What's going on, son?
I'm chilling. You're a little bit scratchy with the sound, but I guess it's all right. Go ahead.
Can you hear me better now? I'm sorry. Can you hear me better?
Yeah.
Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Gavin Knicks Legion of the podcast. I was just on the show.
Legion of Knicks. Yeah. Legion of Knicks podcast.
Legion of Knicks podcast. I'm sorry. I'm just very frustrated right now. That was easily by far the worst loss of the season. Probably one of the worst losses in the last couple of years, just because it actually means something right now.
Mm-hmm. I can agree with that.
I mean, we're going to talk about a lot of things, but just that last 5 minutes, was just, I almost broke my TV. It was just that bad of basketball. Missing free throws, defense the whole game of just open three-pointers after open three-pointers after open three-pointers. RJ, with the dumb, one of the dumbest fouls I think I've seen RJ do in his short career. That was just stupid. Elfrid Payton down the stretch, not paying attention, getting the ball stripped for easy dunk.
Easy dunk.
Burks
easy dunk by Anthony Edwards.
Again, Burks making a dumb play with Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards, people early season call him a bust. He doesn't look like a bust.
Anthony Edwards did an excellent job playing those passing lanes, and I think it's one of the reasons. Obviously, he did it right, but I think a lot of teams, just studying and seeing what the Knicks do, and hey, you know what? They like those cross-court passes. And another thing that I'm going to bring up that guys don't do on our team is relocate. We don't relocate well. We stand in that spot waiting for the kick out. Sometimes you got to take a step to the left or a step to the right so that your defender doesn't know exactly where you are, and it's tougher for them to play the passing lane. You've got to relocate. We do not relocate well.
And Sim, and I've been harping about this all year long about just moving. You know what I'm saying? We just are so predictable when we give the ball to Alfred Payton in the post, or we do these predictable plays where it's like, it's very frustrating because I've seen it tonight. We just standing around. We were getting, we're going to talk about it, but we were getting killed open 3-pointers because what did the Timberwolves do? They moved. They moved the ball. Every time they kept double teaming Karl Anthony Towns. People are moving, and what does he do? Just passes him out to an open Jaden McDaniels.
What I'm saying is something a little bit different, right? Because on the offensive side, they basically did the same thing, right? Karl Anthony Towns would get double teamed, they kick it out to an open shooter. You know what I'm saying? It was basically the same thing that we do. What I'm saying is not just because we try to kick down the stretch. We went ISO Randall. We went ISO Randall until he started missing, right? And then we had to try to find something else to do. But what I'm saying is, it's not about what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it's not about moving like you're moving to the other side of the court. I'm saying you're taking 1 step, 2 steps to the left or the right, so that your defender is not seeing exactly where you are. And they can't just stand in that passing lane because you took 2 steps to the right. Your defender is looking at the ball, and then when the pass comes, it's like, oh, he's up here now. Oh, he's down there now. We just kind of stay stationary waiting for that ball to get kicked out. Sometimes you do that. Sometimes you have to do that, right? Because you're there, and that's it's perfectly set up. Sometimes you have to take a step to the left or a step to the right. But teams have found ways to play those passing lanes because we don't relocate to another spot or take a step to 1 or 2 steps to the left or the right to make the defender have to figure out where we are. Frustrating game tonight, Kev. Bad game. 18-point lead, 13-point lead.
Yeah. As a coach, Sim, does a game like this really frustrate you? What frustrates you the most?
Hell yeah.
What frustrates you the most about it?
Obviously the loss.
As a coach.
Obviously the loss, but we got outworked. They were hungrier than we are. They're a team that has 11 wins. The last place team in the entire league. They have 11 wins. Okay? 11 wins.
Yeah.
And they out-hustle us. They out-tough us in many times. That play that I was talking about earlier, right? We see it all the time with R.J. Barrett. We see it with Reggie Bullock. Not Reggie Bullock, Alec Burks. And we see it mainly those two guys. Sometimes we see it with IQ. Right? They get the ball, they get the handoff, and they dribble down the left or the right side of the lane, but they're holding their player off, right? And then they try to take a little explosion to the basket. Players are getting smart, and they're recognizing this is what the Knicks do. This is what these 3 guards do. And so they say, okay, I'm going to let you hold me off. But as soon as you go up, I'm ready to block it. You seen Anthony Edwards gobbling R.J. Barrett up on that play. Alec Burks got gobbled up on that play.
Yep. And I got to tell you, Anthony Edwards and the guy that was sticking Randall, they're going to be some special players, man. They're going to be really, really special. You get a team around them along with Karl Anthony Towns. They're going to be pretty good. I like their activity tonight, man. They were really taking it to us and everything.
And to be honest, one thing that frustrated me really that game, I'm generally was pissed off because it's a collective effort between the players and Tom Thibodeau. Because to me, those last couple of plays are just straight up ISO. I mean, you got to do something better, man. This to me, there's no excuse with that about 5 straight plays of ISO, just 5 straight, and it just kills me because I have no confidence in Thibs when he draws these plays out of timeouts. They haven't been good all season. They really haven't. I'm just
so tell me what play out of timeout didn't work, though.
Yeah,
a lot of his plays don't work out of timeouts.
No, tell me what plays tonight out of timeouts didn't work.
I mean, the ISOs clearly didn't work.
But they weren't out of timeouts. That's in the midst of a game. The players got to call that. That's in the midst of a game. That's in the middle of the game. The players call those plays. I'm talking about what plays out of a timeout did not work. Down the stretch of the game, out of the timeout, there were a few different options. RJ Barrett had a lane to the basket. He didn't go aggressively. That's not Tom Thibodeau. That's RJ Barrett.
But still, Tom Thibodeau, I mean, he gets credit for this game, too. So it's just you can't just say it's just the players.
I'm not saying he doesn't, but the players didn't. Hold on.
Yeah.
I said this in the playoffs with the Clippers, and I'm going to say it right now for the Knicks. If you prepare your team to the point where you get an 18-point lead, it is now on the players to carry that game home.
I agree with that.
The players stopped playing hard. The players played lackadaisio on the floor.
Yep.
Elfrid Payton stopped his dribble in the middle of the lane to allow somebody to come behind him and steal the ball, not Tom Thibodeau.
The player you hate, Isaiah. The player you hate.
Right. The players made those plays. The players played lazy, man. RJ Barrett did a lazy foul on Anthony Edwards after a turnover to cause them to get an and one.
Yep.
Alec Burks threw a cross-court pass that Anthony Edwards picked out of the air.
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
To me, it's the players. This, to me, tonight was the players.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Now, Julius Randle down the stretch.
Yep.
Down the stretch, Julius Randle, they called his number. He was hitting. They called his. He scored 3 straight buckets. They called his number twice more. He didn't score. I didn't think they should have called his number those 2 times. Thought they should have went elsewhere. But then they tried to go elsewhere after he went twice more and missed. They went elsewhere, and we still didn't score.
We turned it over. We're turning it over.
I'm not saying Tom Thibodeau was perfect, but I can't just sit here and say, we had an 18-point lead and Tom Thibodeau is the reason that we lost the lead. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had a 13-point lead and Tom Thibodeau is the reason we lost the lead. We have a 9-point lead, I think, in the fourth quarter, and Tom Thibodeau is the reason we lost that 9-point lead. I can't sit here and say that.
That's on the players.
I'm sorry.
That's on the players.
You have a double-digit lead, man. The players got to bring that one home.
Yeah, and that's what I was asking you, Sam, as a coach. When you see that happening, what frustrates you the most is them being lackadaisical.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like Andrew Jones says, Simmons a Tips apologist. What the hell am I apologizing for Tips for? This dude don't pay me a damn thing. What the hell am I apologizing for him for? I ain't apologizing for him. You crazy. All I'm saying, and I want to say some other words, but, I'm going to keep it clean.
Yeah, we'll keep it clean.
I'm going to keep it clean. Why the hell am I going to apologize for Tibbs? I don't know this man personally. I don't give a damn about him. Not like that. When I'm going to apologize for him, but I'm going to call a spade a spade. I'm going to call a spade a spade. They were up 18 points. He clearly put them in position to be up 18 points.
Yep.
He clearly, at halftime, lit into them. so that they came out in the third quarter and played hard. They get a 13-point lead.
Yep.
Come on, man.
This is. I think this is just really a tough loss because it's like you said, Sim. This is literally the worst team in the league. These jokers, the Rockets lost 20 games in a row and was still better than the Timberwolves. And you give it this game, man, and you give it this game, and now it's like you got to fight even harder the rest of the season because you lost to the freaking Timberwolves over lackadaisical plays. And it frustrates me. I'm watching Alpha Payne just be lackadaisical with the ball and just steals it. It's frustrating.
Isaiah, in fairness, RJ and Burks were lackadaisical as well. I mean, you can go. I'm putting it all.
I'm not putting all on Payton because again, RJ Barrett should know you don't foul a guy that's full steam ahead. Let him just take the 2 points. Don't give him the air one. And then Burks, and then I'm sick of these cross passes across the court, and then we just get them stolen.
Look,
we do this almost every other game.
Here's the thing with our primary ball handlers tonight. The primary people who have the ball in their hands to make plays. Julius Randle, 4 turnovers. RJ Barrett, 4 turnovers. Elfrid Payton, 3 turnovers. Right? Most of our turnovers, 7 of our 10 turnovers, more than half, came from our primary guys who have the ball in their hands a lot. Now, obviously, they had the ball in their hands a lot. They're going to turn the basketball over. Right? Clearly, we had 17 turnovers tonight. We normally average about 13 turnovers per game. 17 turnovers off of just lazy passes, lazy plays.
Lazy passes, lazy plays.
Go ahead,
Sam,
Cornerstone.
how many turnovers did the Burks have?
Burks had 3 turnovers himself. Alec Burks had 3 turnovers. You know, when you look at some of the numbers behind the game, let's bring that on over here so we can talk about some of these numbers. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks lose a bad one to the Minnesota Timberwolves, 102-101. And I know the coaching staff has to be ready to light into them guys like no other time before. The Knicks, they scratch out the rebounding battle 51-50, but they couldn't get the rebounds that they really needed down the stretch to make sure that they secured this game. 20 assists on the night. Minnesota Timberwolves 25. The Timberwolves had 9 steals. The Knicks had 7. Timberwolves had 7 blocks. The Knicks had 6. Only 12 turnovers for the Timberwolves. They took care of the basketball. The Knicks had 17. I'm telling you right now, that's the story of the game right there because the Knicks were lazy with the basketball. Timberwolves shot 41% from the field. The Knicks shot 48%. Timberwolves only shot 35% from 3. The Knicks shot 47.8% from 3. Right? The Timberwolves were 84% from the free throw line. The Knicks were 70%. Right? They tied the battle of the paint, points in the paint. They both had 38. The Knicks had 13 second chance points. Minnesota had 10. The Knicks even won the fast break points, 17-13. 17-13. The turnovers, though. The turnovers really, really crushed the Knicks in this one, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get to a phone call. Caller, you live. What's the pop? What's popping?
Yo, look here, man. Let me tell you this, man. This is what's going to happen when you ain't got no veteran point guard down the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a learning lesson for the Knicks. It's a young team, so ain't no reason to panic. They need losses like this as a point of reference. You get what I'm saying? Because what I've been seeing as a constant theme, the last 4-5 games, you got guys like IQ, Burks looking off roles at the end of the game. Now, I get it. Everybody doing good and everybody in the spirit. Everybody want to do their thing, but you got to stop looking off the guy who got to, you know what I'm saying, close the game out for you. It's Julius Randle and Rose. Everybody else got to pass that pill.
But look. Let me say this. Rose ain't here. Rose wasn't here tonight. So
I hear you though.
I mean, you know, Rose got to be available for us to put him in the game because he would have been in the game down the stretch. We all know Tom Thibodeau loves to go to Derrick Rose down the stretch. He would have been in the game down the stretch, but it's not here.
You're right. Yeah, but at the same time though, it's a good thing that he wasn't there though. Like, man, I get what you're saying. You're right, because if you're trying to make the playoffs, everybody got to be available. All these injuries is getting irritating, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, these young guys, and Randall too, and he's still young, all of them still learning. They still learning, and they still, like, learning, like, you know what I'm saying? This is the worst team in the NBA. But at the same time, you don't think the Knicks going to come back with a vengeance for the next, I don't even know. They might go on a run after this. I'm going to just remember that.
I mean, hey, I hope so. I hope so. Listen, we need for, you know, if they want to be serious about their playoff position, right now they're 24-24. They were just a whole game and a half above the Miami Heat. Right? The Knicks had a chance to go back up 2 games above 500, and they lost a bad one tonight. They're now 24-24. They're in the 6th spot in the Eastern Conference. You got the Atlanta Hawks breathing down their necks. Right? They're 23-24. The Boston Celtics are 23-25. The Indiana Pacers, they're 21-25. They're rising back up, or trying to rise back up. They did lose tonight to the Miami Heat.
Okay, last thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to hang up. The New York Knicks are battle-tested. Probably the most battle-tested NBA team in the league because of their play style. Now, if you look at the amount of games we got left and the standings, it ain't no way the Knicks not going to make the playoff. The play-in tournament. They make the play-in tournament. They battle-tested. They going to get in. Y'all already won more games than Vegas expected. It's a win-win. But appreciate it, man. Y'all have a good one.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for the phone call. I mean, look, I understand what my man is saying. I don't know if we're battle tested yet. They've been in battles.
We're not battle tested yet.
Like they've been in battles, but I'm not ready to say that we're battle tested as a team. You know, a battle tested team's been in more battles than the New York Knicks have been in right now, currently this season. You know what I'm saying? They're getting there, and they're trying to get to that point. It's clear, though, that they're not there yet, and they have a lot to learn about getting there. I mean, so that's very clear with this team right now. They're a rising team, and they're getting better. We know that, but they're not there, and they've got a lot to learn and to understand, because this is a game they could have and should have won. 18-point lead, 13-point lead. Come on. Big shout out to Ian Clark. Thank you for the super chat. He said, this one hurt. I apologize. I can't watch tonight. I get it, Ian. I understand. Thank you for the super chat. Gerald Hines said, this is a heartbreaker. Yep. Definitely a heartbreaker. Ghost Rider, he said, how many times this season have we seen the Knicks play down to their talent? That is delusional. But that is what a team like the Knicks do.
I mean, again, right, Sim? So when I've said this before, when you're a 500 team, yes, you won 24 games. But guess what, Sim? You lost 24 games. So, again, this team is going to be up and down. This team's going to be up and down for the whole season. We're playing 500 basketball. So it's just so many boneheaded plays, man. And these are the growing pains. But Lord have mercy, son.
Listen, we have the right to be upset, but these are the growing pains. You know what I'm saying? These are the growing pains that you go through with a team that's trying to learn how to win, and that's what's happening right now. They're a team that's trying to learn how to win. This is a team, and I said it before the game. I'm gonna say it again. This is a team that's never been in this position. They've never been there. They've never been in the playoff mix. This group I'm talking about, they've never been in the playoff mix this late in the season together. So they're trying to figure out, how do we get this done? How do we make it happen? Some guys are getting tired. Some guys got nagging injuries, and you got to figure out how to fight through those nagging injuries. In years past, all of these guys have been on teams where when they reach this point of the season, and they got these little nagging injuries, but when they, it's lottery time, right? So when they have these little nagging injuries, guess what? They're like, I don't really got to go that hard because this don't mean nothing. The team is trying to tank anyway. They're looking at the lottery anyway, so I don't got to go hard. I can let my injuries rest, right? But guess what? They can't do that now, and they're learning that, and they're learning how to deal with that. And some people may look and say, oh, they're professionals. They make all this money. They're supposed to know. You can only know when you do it. They're still human. So they got to learn how to win these type of games. And right now, it is proof that they're not there yet. They're not there yet because it's a bad loss, and they got to figure out how to get there real quick, because if not, they're going to find themselves below 500 in the next game. I think we play Dallas next, and if we don't get there real quick, we'll find ourselves below 500 real quick.
Yeah, and Sim, I wanted to say this too, man, and you know, and someone said this on Guillermo's stream, and it makes a lot of sense, right? It's very frustrating as Tom Thibodeau, and when you look at your bench and you got 3 lottery picks and they're not contributing, that's I don't think people understand how tough and frustrating that is. And that when you got Kevin Knox, Obi, and Frank, all 3 lottery picks, man, not contributing, not helping, not scoring, not defending, it's very tough, and that puts a lot of more pressure on the RJs, the Randalls, the Knoxes, the Quickleys, all those other dudes. We got to rely on guys like Alex Burks and Bullock, that sometimes they go cold when you need them most. It's tough, man. It really is, because if we had those guys playing good or playing up to the time that we thought they could have been, this next thing would be in a whole different spot. But it's just...
I mean, I think it's more frustrating for fans than it is for Tom Thibodeau, because he came into this team with these guys already being who they are. You know what I mean? So I think it's more frustrating for fans than it is for Tom Thibodeau, really. Caller, you're live. What's popping? Caller, you there? Guess he's not there. We'll get to another person. I mean, I get what you're saying. I know. You know, we got 3 top 10 picks, and they clearly didn't pan out. Or Obi, we still got time. We're going to figure out how, what's going on with Obi. You got, Kevin Knox and Frank Ntilikina is still both, younger than Obi. So, we'll see where and what they do. But I think for Tom Thibodeau, it is what it is. This is who I have, and this is who I'm rocking with. And I do want to be careful that we don't get too, just too crazy. About with what's happening with the team. We'll see. Listen, they're on a 2-game losing streak. They have a chance now to either go back above 500 or be below 500 with the next game. They play Dallas next, right? They play Dallas next, and Dallas right now, they're 25-21. The Knicks are 24-24. Both teams in the thick of the playoff battle. Not obviously in the same conference, in different conferences, but they're both going to be battling. And this is a game that could be tough for the Knicks right now. The Dallas Mavericks, they are 7th in the Western Conference. The Knicks are 6th in the Eastern Conference. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They've won 2 in a row. The Knicks should be the most desperate team than the Dallas Mavericks, right? They should, they should feel like, we need this bad. That's how they should feel. Caller, you live. What's poppin'?
Hello, guys.
Hey, what's going on with you, man?
Yeah. It's about the Knicks. I think we have the same problem. Oh, let me turn it down. Sorry. I have to hear myself. How about the Knicks playing down the stretch in the fourth quarter?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a point guard that's really reliable in the fourth quarter. Rose is not there. We make a lot of dumb turnover mistakes.
Yep.
I don't think I'm worried about the Knicks IQ, basketball IQ. I really do. Some of the mistakes that we make are just unforced errors, man. So,
Unforced errors.
And Tom, the coach, all he wants to do is win now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he squeezed 8 players just trying to win now. And everybody else sitting on the bench and play the same guy all over and over again.
I mean, I'm going to say, I don't, you look down your bench, who are you putting in those situations that you feel is going to change what was happening out there? Kevin Knox?
Well,
Obi? Frank?
No, but I'm looking at Bud. I mean, he made one mistake, and then he sat him on the bench and playing paint. Payton never does anything in the fourth quarter. He didn't score, turns the ball over. So I didn't understand that.
I mean, Alec
One
Burks,
of the guys who's been playing for you for the last few games. He's going to sit him on the bench because he made one mistake.
Alec Burks played 7 minutes, 37 seconds in the fourth quarter. I don't remember if he was down the stretch like during, when they had a chance to win. I don't remember if he was in the game at that time or not. Do you, Isaiah?
He wasn't.
Alex Burks, no, he wasn't down the stretch because it was Peyton, R.J. Bullock, Tobbs, and Randall.
Maybe it was. But I don't know, man.
But let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Why every time the game is on the line, Rondo think he's the man to get us over the hump? I mean, he's not there yet. Come on. I mean, he takes 3, 4, 5 consecutive shots. He makes some, yes. But pass the ball, for God's sake.
Well, I mean, I'm going to say this. He took 5 shots in a row tonight. He made 3. He missed his last 2. And then the ball did get moved around to some other people. We had a couple of turnovers. We missed a couple of shots that obviously we needed to get. I'm not blaming those people for missing the shots, but after that stretch, I think he took 1 shot after that stretch. I mean, the thing is, right now, he's your best scorer right now.
I agree.
He's your best scorer right now. So I think the team is gonna say, okay, we're gonna go to Randall. That's who you have right now. Is he your long-term first team option? Probably not. But when you get to that point in the game where cutting lanes are being jammed up, guys setting screens to go back door and this and that is being, guys are being held and all those type of things. You need a guy that's going to be able to hit that shot for you. So far, Randall's been, in those moments, he hasn't been great, right? In those moments. There's still a learning curve for him. I don't know if he's ever going to get to be that point, but obviously it's still a learning curve for him trying to get there, and he may never be that guy. So,
I'm worried about other teams outscoring the Knicks in the fourth quarter. We are all by 13 points. And this is not the first game. I've seen many games where the Knicks are all by 9, 10, and they don't end the game well.
Yeah. That's what happens with teams like the Knicks who are
overachieving
and mediocre. The team is they're a middle of the pack team. So when you have a middle of the pack team, a lot of times those teams don't know how to finish down the stretch. That's what the Knicks are. They don't know, and we've seen it time and time again this season where they don't know how to finish down the stretch. And playmaking is definitely an issue down the stretch.
Yeah, the point guard. Yeah, that's correct.
But Derrick Rose got to be there, and we haven't had a chance to see what Derrick Rose is going to really do down the stretch of a game either. Because he wasn't great down the stretch in Miami. We obviously started getting blown out. we really don't know what Derrick Rose is yet down the stretch because we haven't had a chance to see him in those real tough moments with the Knicks, with this team right now. So we're still waiting to see that.
All right, thank you. I enjoy
man.
your shows, man. I watch the show every night.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And, as a fan, I really see it very bad tonight. That was a terrible loss.
Yeah, it was a tough one. I knew people were going to come on upset tonight, feeling bad. I knew it. Yeah, man. I appreciate your call, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too. Get to another phone call here. Caller, you live. What's popping? I don't know what's going on, man. Caller, you there?
No.
I don't know.
People are prank calling. I think people are prank calling tonight soon.
People call up and they're not ready or whatever it is. I don't know, man. All right, let's talk about this Dallas game because I need to move past this one for real. Tomorrow I'll reflect back on it tomorrow again with the shoot around. But let's talk about this Dallas game because I need to get past this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's really not that much to say about. We all feel the same way. We all should have lost the game, so it's it is. We lost, so we 500. So ain't nothing else to talk about.
Yeah. So what about this Dallas game? We played Dallas in 2 games, and we played Dallas in 2 days, man. So, let's put it like this: our next 2 games is Dallas and Detroit. So, our next 2 games.
I gotta say it. We gotta go 2-0.
We need it.
I don't think we gotta. I know it's crazy, Sim, and I'm not the type to really. We gotta go 2-0
because
we have to.
Because listen,
it's too. Yeah. Go ahead.
Because listen, we play Dallas, then we play Detroit, then we play Brooklyn and Boston. So we need to go 2-0 these next 2 games. And Dallas is not going to be an easy game to win. That's going to be a tough game.
Do you think they didn't forget that we beat them 2-0 last year?
Of course.
Do you think they're not going to remember that? You think they're not going to remember? You think they don't want to get a win for KP? Man, Friday to me is. Friday is going to be one of the most important games of the Knicks this season. It's going to be one of the most important games.
It's a pivotal game.
We got it. To me, it ain't no choice. We have to win. Listen, if you guys want to avoid the play-in, then this are the games you have to win. You got to beat Dallas. You have to beat them. And then we got to face Detroit in a back-to-back. So we got to win. There's no choice. We got to do it.
Yeah, this is a very pivotal game for the New York Knicks. And when we say pivotal, we actually mean pivotal because it can pivot them from being 500 to either above 500 and below 500. Right now, the Knicks are at 500. They win the game, they're 25-24. They lose the game, they're 24-25. And it does pivot your season. I think the Knicks need to see themselves remain at 500 or above. For the confidence, for the soul, I think they need to see themselves remain there. It is pivotal. Pivotal game because if you lose this one, right, and I know you got Detroit coming up afterwards, but now you're on a 3-game losing streak, right? You fall to 24-25. The Atlanta Hawks are breathing down your neck at 23-24.
The Celtics are right there.
Yeah, the Celtics are right there. I'm not sure who Atlanta plays next. See if I can find that really quick. But their team, they made at least one move. They play the Spurs next. There's a good chance that they lose. They're in San Antonio. It's a good chance that they lose that one, but there's a chance that they win that one too.
So, Sim, I'm looking right now, right? This is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at our standings. We're 24-24, tied for 5th with the Miami Heat. They 3-0'd us, so they're going to get that regardless if we have the same record. So, yes, we're the 6th seed. So, never mind. We're not tied. We're the 6th seed. So, Atlanta's 23-24. Celtics are 23-25. Pacers are right there. The Bulls, they're 7 games below. So, right now, I'm not really worried about them. But it's the Hawks, Celtics, and the Heat. And what's going on right now, every win is critical. If we lose, we go 24-25. We're going to 7. Now we're in the play-in. Let's say the Celtics win. Now we might be 8th. So now, I mean, you're talking about every victory counts. I don't think. Listen, I'm be honest. I don't think we can go 1-1 these next 2 games. I don't think we can't go 1-1.
No,
because we lost this game. We can't afford to go 1-1. Now, if we would have won this game, it would have been 2 games. I would have said, okay, we could do 1-1 because we'll still be 2 games above 500, and that should keep us where we're at. But now that we did this is what happens when you're not a disciplined team and you lose these games that are very important. Now we got to go 2-0. It's just
Tony Crow, what's going on, man?
What's good, Sam? What's up, Isaiah? Yo, Black is time. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, I ain't got no enthusiasm, man. This game took a lot out of me.
Yeah, I'm sure it did, bro. I know it took a lot out of you. That's why we moved on. We're talking about Dallas, okay, and what we need to do the next 2 games. How do we beat Dallas? We gotta beat Dallas. We need this win. We need this win. I don't want to go below 500, and I know they don't want to go below 500. I haven't really watched Dallas play. I'm gonna say this.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I'm gonna say this. I think it for the most part. I think it starts with. It's got to start with us, regardless of scheme, regardless of strategy. It's got to start with us. Do we want it? Bottom line, do we want this win or not? Do we want to stay above 500 or do we want to go back above 500? Do we want to claim our spot in these playoffs? And I think right now they've got to come out with some pride. Not that they've got blown out tonight, but it feels like that because you lost to the worst team in the league. Right? But they got to come out with some pride. They got to do those little things. You know, it's like they stopped doing the little things. Now, I don't know, are they just tired? And I'm not saying tired because they're playing so many minutes. Just tired because the way this team has to win exerts so much energy. They've got to exert so much energy to win a basketball game. This team does. Because you notice whether it's a good team or a not so good team that they're playing against, they win by small margins. Every once in a while they get a blowout, right? But they win by small margins because they're not gifted offensively. So that starts to take a toll on the mind. It takes a toll on the body. And Tom Thibodeau said it before the season began, and the players were all kind of on the same page. We know we got to do the little things. We know we got to battle every single night. We got to be smarter than the teams we play. We got to jump on the floor and grab loose balls. We're going to leave out of there with scratches and scrapes and floor burns on our knees and all of that. But again, that takes a lot of energy. You know, what do you think, Tony? Do they have enough to finish out this season and make the playoffs? Do they have the mental fortitude to do
it? I think we have enough, and I agree. These next couple games are probably going to be a pivotal determination of where we're going to finish. So, you know, if we can win this next one or these next 2, I think we have a chance to stay right around where we are, 6th, maybe 5th seed. We lose these 2, I think we still get in the playoffs, but now we talking fight to the end, and seeding, you know, the play-in more likely than not. And yeah, it's like you just said, man, it's about what they want. I think encouraging wise, you know, I think they should come in and put up a better fight from the beginning against Dallas. There's, you know, some more incentive with their picks. You know, we getting their picks, so we want to make them have as worse a record as possible. So every loss helps. Let's try to give them one. But they've been playing a lot better as of late. So we got to look out. We're probably going to get their best shot as well. It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough. Our margin for error, not only this game but all season, is so slim.
Right.
And we rely on everybody, not just Randall, RJ, but it's always got to be a third and fourth guy contributing and a black horse guy that we weren't expecting to come in and do something extra. So it's tough, but I got faith.
And Tony, but the thing is too, and that's been an issue for the Knicks all season, is that we're banking on Burks or Bullock or Quickly to be there, and it is really, really hard, especially in this league, to do a third to be a third option by committee, because you just never know. It's like, one night Burks has a great game and we like, okay, Burks is gonna do it. Next game, he goes 2 for 13 or something like that. And then you got Quickly, who's still a rookie, who you really can't rely on. So it's very tough to do the third person by committee. And like you said, the area for this team was already small. And we have to play almost perfect, grinded out basketball, which, like Sim said, takes a lot of energy. Takes a lot of energy every night. And like you said, Sim, it's not even about the minutes we're playing. It's just a grind out style that we play, that we don't get easy baskets. We don't, set up our teammates to score easy. So it's like we gotta grind it out, and that takes a lot of energy, man.
A lot.
So it's just it just hurt that we needed this one. But I'll say this about Dallas, Sim. Maybe I think a lot of people are going to agree. I think the next game, you got to have Frank on Luka. I think the tape proves that Frank plays good defense against Luka Doncic. The season that he averaged 28, 9, and 9, which was last year, he played great defense on him and stopped him. So, to me, one of the most pivotal moves on Friday is you got to play Frank on Luka. I don't care what. Listen, I'll be honest with you, Sim. He don't need to score points that game. I'm telling Frank, that's your man. That is your job the whole game. The way he played him the other games, Frank got to play.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm pretty sure Tibbs is going to be. They're trying to mastermind something right now to figure out how they pull out a win. Let's listen to Tom Thibodeau. This is Tom Thibodeau in the post game, and he kept his cool in the post game, but Tom Thibodeau's upset. Let's take a listen.
How bitter is this defeat after having those big leads tonight?
Well, it's disappointing. It's we had a big lead in the first half and we didn't take care of it, and we repeated it. And you're disappointed because of the turnovers that we beat ourselves.
Steph Bondi.
Just overall what happened? I mean, you mentioned the turnovers, but you guys kind of went cold in the fourth quarter there. What happened in your view to the offense in the fourth quarter?
It's the turnovers. That's it. You put them in the open floor, and you're giving them easy baskets, and they're having a tough time against your set defense. And then when you give a team easy buckets like that, they can erase leads very quickly. This team has always done that. So they've got a lot of talented players, and if you're beating yourself like that, you got to trust the pass. If they come down, they're going to gamble for steals, and all we have to do is spray it out. We spray it out, we're going to get good shots.
Steve Popper.
Tom, did some of that look like what you've talked about before with the 13-point lead midway through the fourth, not playing the full 48, maybe the way you want?
Yeah, look, the way teams shoot threes, you can't let your guard down at all. And when you look at their roster, it's, Edwards has really played very well the last 10 games. Towns is a load to deal with. He commands a lot of attention. Beasley's an elite shooter, so And McDaniels got loose on us in the first half. So when that happens, you're playing with fire. But we did good things to build those leads, and then we didn't play tough enough with the lead.
Mark Berman.
I mean, is there something, you're playing the league's worst team, and maybe you got a little too comfortable with the team?
Well, the thing is, in this league, every team has great players. You can't get here without being a great player. So if you let your guard down just a little bit, you're going to be in trouble. And there's 30 teams, 29 are capable of beating you. And if you don't come with that edge, you don't come with the mentality that you have to play for 48 minutes, you get loose, you're going to get knocked down.
Jeff Bondy.
Tom, just on that last possession with RJ, he had Cat on him. Did you like that shot from RJ? Would you like to try and get him to go to the basket?
Yeah, well, I want to see it on film again, but it's what he thinks. It's his read. It's an isolation type play. There's 3 options on the play, and that was one of them. So.
Here you go. That's Tom Thibodeau. What we've been harping on all night. Turnovers. Not protecting the basketball. Not just playing smart. Not playing with a mental edge that they should have had over a team this young. I mean, the Knicks aren't old, but they have more experience than this team on our team. Right? They didn't play with that mental edge. Eddie, what's going on, man?
What's going on? I'm pretty sure it's been a somber mood today because it's pretty bad loss.
Yeah, been a real somber mood, man, because it's a bad loss tonight. Super bad loss tonight.
Yeah, super bad loss. I think Tibbs, wanted to keep Payton out there because he'd been having a good game for 3 quarters, and it backfired on him. It backfired on him big time because when we needed some scoring there in the end of the game, and he wasn't able to give it to us. He just put in Quickly a little bit too late today. Quickly didn't have it either, but Tibbs is that kind of guy. If you're having a good game, he's liable to leave you out there. He's been doing it all season. And it backfired on him. The game was, I think it came down to that one play where Edwards drove to the lane, spun, and found
Malik Beasley.
It found Beasley for the 3-point shot, and that was a big play in the game, and I mean, kind of the reason we lost that game.
And Beasley was wide open because we would. Well, there's a few factors. One, we always play this type of defense where we crowd the paint and try not to allow guys to get to the basket. But then Anthony Edwards was getting to the basket almost at will, right? So he'd get into the paint. He had scored about 2 or 3 buckets before that play where he went to the basket and scored at the basket. 2 reverse layups at the basket, I think. One floater in the front of the basket or something like, somewhere around there, something that he did. But he had went to the basket 2 or 3 times before that play. And so what happened is sucked in everybody at the defense, and then they kicked it out. I don't know. I guess it was Reggie Bullock guarding Malik Beasley. He was wide open. And Malik Beasley can shoot the 3. He averages 20 points a game. He can shoot the 3. Knocked it down. That was the game right there.
Hey Sim, on a side note real quick, I don't know if anybody cares about this, but Andre Drummond got injured, foot injury. First game.
Did he? Are you serious?
Yep.
Is he like foot injury where he's done for a while or what?
I don't know. All I seen was he was playing. They showed the video of his foot, and he walked back to the locker room. He hasn't played since.
Wow.
Yeah, he's walking back without his sneaker.
Yep, man. They did a zoom in on his toes. He had his toes wrapped up, so I don't know. First game debut.
Sheesh. That's tough.
Could be turf toe.
That's tough. You know, I hope the best for him. Hope the best for him. Yeah, man. Tough. Just a tough game tonight. Just a tough game tonight. But we were talking about Dallas. You know, these next two games are really must-wins for us. You know, what's your take on the Dallas game coming up? We play Dallas, then we play Detroit. After we play Detroit, we play Brooklyn, then Boston.
I've always said I'm not one to make predictions, but I don't think we're going to pull out the Dallas game. The trajectory is just, you know, we won 3 games in a row, but they were all against bad teams. So I don't know how
the same team twice.
And then then the Wizards twice. So, I mean, I don't know how much stock I can put into that 3-game winning streak that we had. I was worried about Minnesota because, I mean, for all it's worth, Minnesota's a Western team. You know, they have tougher challenges when they're playing out there all the time. We were away. So it wasn't an easy game to get. And we were there to win the game, but you can see the I guess the inconsistency or the firepower that we lack to win games like this, close out games like this. So I was very worried about Minnesota, and my worst thoughts came to fruition. Dallas, I think Dallas is going to have their way with us. No matter, we can do whatever we want. We could put Frank out there. We could put, you know, whoever we want. It's not gonna be a good game for us. I mean, you know me, I'm a Knicks fan, so I hope we win, but I don't see it happening. They're just clicking right now. I don't see a way that we can stop Luka. Porzingis has been playing well lately. I don't think there's anybody there that can stop Porzingis either. So, you know, I'm just bracing for the worst and hoping for the best right now.
Yeah. Well, you know, my thing is with Dallas, you know, I'm throwing schemes out the window right now and just saying the Knicks have to focus on themselves and what they do well, which is playing good defense, taking care of the basketball. Those are two things that we've done well all season long. Is play good defense and take care of the basketball. We played decent defense. We didn't take care of the basketball, which allowed them to get out on the fast break and score some points, easy buckets, especially down the stretch. But those two things we've really been able to do this year. We average like 13 turnovers a game. Obviously, we keep teams, you know, scoring below, you know, about 104 points per game. Those two things have been helping us to win games. Once we don't do one of them, we just don't have enough firepower to get over it. We've always got to take care of the basketball and play good defense. We don't have that kind of firepower. I think we have a chance against Dallas. I think that, you know, they don't have that strong inside presence, which, you know, you don't need that to beat us. But I think that Julius Randle can probably, you know, get Porzingis in foul trouble if KP is going to be guarding Julius Randle. I don't know who's going to be guarding Julius Randle. If Nerlens Noel is on Julius Randle, if Nerlens Noel is on KP, you know, depending on their lineups, I think that Nerlens Noel can do a decent job guarding KP. KP, of course, is going to shoot from the outside. He's not going to be going inside and posting you up. So I do think that's a favorable matchup on the defensive side for Nerlens Noel. You know, now he's not going to be able to patrol the paint the way that he normally does because KP is going to be out on the perimeter. Luka, of course, is going to be Luka. And we got to figure out, you know, what do we do with Luka? You know, how do we guard Luka? Who's he going to put on Luka? You know, I haven't thought so, you know, deeply into this game to really think about it in that manner, you know. But those, of course, and then you got guys like Tim Hardaway Jr. who can, you know, he can get off and he can get hot. We got to be able to defend him. We've matched up well with him in the past year and a half or so. You know, we'll see how we match up with him this season. It'll be the first time we face him. Go ahead, Tony.
I think one thing you forgot, and he's tend to kill us. they do have an inside presence. That 8-foot Boban.
Oh, Boban. That's right. They got Boban this year. I forgot about Boban.
He kills us.
Boban been on the team for a little while now.
He be killing us.
Was he on the team last year, Boban?
Yes.
I thought Boban was someplace else. Because I thought at the beginning of this season, I thought okay. I thought Boban was someplace else last year.
Nah, Boban been with the Mavericks like the last two and a something years because he's been with Philly. He's been with Philly and the Clippers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we played him, the last game we played him last year, we beat him 106-103. When we played him last year, Boban, he had 10 points, 5 rebounds. He's a big guy that that you got to deal with inside. He's not their starting center. Not their starting center.
No, but we don't have nobody without Mitch who could at least jump and get some of those. Like this man dunks without jumping, so he's not like a go-to guy. But if he just even gets the ball in the vicinity, is what I mean? There's nothing you can do with it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, and Sim, I'm gonna be honest with you. If the Knicks play defense like they played tonight with these open shooters, it's gonna be a long game, man. Because these dudes can shoot.
Dallas just beat. They just beat Boston tonight. They beat Boston tonight. Whatever stock you hold in that, you're holding that. Boston obviously isn't playing that great so far this season, so we don't know what Boston really is. So when you say you beat Boston, you're not sure if you're beating, that Eastern Conference Final type of team or not. You know what I'm saying? But they beat them. They're a good competitive team. The Dallas Mavericks, they shoot from the 3-point line. Their percentage this season is, see if I can find them in here. They shoot 36.2% from the 3-point line. They average 38 3-point attempts per game. All right, so they make 13.7 3-point attempts per game. So we'll see. We'll see what we do with these guys as far as rebounding the basketball. They average 43 rebounds a game. And it's not like but they shoot a high percentage from the field. They shoot 47% from the field. All right, so it's natural that they're going to have a few less rebounds because they're a decent shooting team. So they're going to have a few less rebounds. Offensive rebounds. Obviously they shoot a good percentage from the field, so they only average 48.4 offensive rebounds per game. Defensive rebounds, they're about 15th in the league. Right, they average 34.8 defensive rebounds per game. Now, we average 35, and then offensive rebounds, we average 10.4. Now, the offensive rebound thing, I think it's more with them has to do with the fact that they shoot the ball a little bit better than we do, so they're going to get less offensive rebounds. That only makes sense. But we do grab a few more defensive rebounds than them. I think if you have Boban out there, depending on who he's guarding, I don't know if you're going to, I don't know how much of a threat he's going to be down low, but, you might be able to neutralize him if you decided to go small with him out there on the floor. You might be able to have some guys that can go right around him. You know what I mean? Like if you had Randall playing the small ball 5 and then you have Obi out there, Randall should be able to go around Boban. So we'll see how, I guess tomorrow and within the next couple of days, we'll be able to talk some more scheme as I, take a good look at Dallas and see what they do. Again, Dallas tonight, they beat the Boston Celtics. They beat them 113-108 in Boston. Boston's now 23-25 on the season, and the Mavericks are 25-21 on the season. And tonight, Luka, he had 36 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Josh Richardson had 8 points. Kristaps Porzingis had 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. Max Kleber, who's one of their starting forwards, he had 5 points, 3 rebounds. Finney Smith, he had 11 points and 9 rebounds. Tim Hardaway Jr., he had 7 points tonight. So we'll see, man. I don't know. We'll see. We need the Knicks. We need the Knicks to come out with some fire. You know what? If we lose, we lose. It is what it is. I just need to see them come out with some fire, shore up that defense, and take care of the basketball, and try to start putting themselves back on the right path. Yeah. Big shout out to Peter Abraham, man. Thank you for becoming a member, Peter Abraham. I appreciate it.
I was watching Twitter this afternoon, and I saw a tweet about Lance Stevenson. What do you think about Lance Stevenson?
Man, I always like them. I said that earlier. They don't like him. Like the consensus. The consensus of the MBK chat. Don't bring him up.
I like him up because you talking about that's a useless player. That's a useless player.
I was actually thinking about bringing up. What do you guys think about Tibbs shortening the rotation? Instead of going with a 9-10 man rotation to start going with more of an 8-9 man rotation and playing RJ Barrett more as a small ball 4.
Yeah, you know what it is, Eddie? You're asking a lot from them already, man. These dudes are playing a grit and grind kind of game, man. And you're asking them to pretty much play more minutes and
no, not necessarily more minutes, but if there's one thing, I don't like to critique Tibbs at all. Like, I don't think I'm anybody to critique a professional coach on what he should do, what he shouldn't do. Especially, we're just here as fans, and I'm not here for that. To talk down on coaches and what they do.
But critiquing is not talking down on somebody though.
And players. But when I critique them, I want to have. I have more ammunition, when I critique them on something. But what I just lost my train of thought, man.
Well, let me just say, if you're shortening the rotation, somebody's getting more minutes.
Oh, this is what I was going to say. I was going to say he could do a better job of staggering RJ and Randall. If there's anything that I can say that he can do and that I can critique and I can say, he can probably stagger their minutes a little bit better so that we have one or the other on the floor at all times.
But he's doing that now, though.
But that's when the small ball 4 RJ Barrett comes in, where instead of Obi coming in at the beginning of the second quarter, you can probably take RJ out minute 8 of the first quarter and then put him back in the start of the second quarter, playing that small ball 4 with Taj, Alec Burks, Derrick Rose, and Quickly. And I don't know what you guys think about that. I mean, I know Barrett is I know he's not that big. I mean, I saw him next to Edwards today, and that boy Edwards looks big, man.
Yeah,
that boy.
Yeah,
I mean, it's that country thing. That's that country thing.
He kind of like won me over today. Like, I'm like, yo, that's the rookie of the year. I saw him next to RJ Barrett, and everybody, including myself, thinks of RJ Barrett as this big bruising guard, and that kid looks bigger than him.
And he was using his size against RJ Barrett. That was one of the reasons why he was able to go to the basket. I mean, he might even be a little bit stronger than RJ Barrett. He was definitely using his size.
He's stronger than him. He has more wiggle. Well, RJ's never been one to have that much wiggle, but he has more wiggle than him. He's going to be a pretty good player. He's going to be a pretty good player.
Yeah.
I don't know if
that jump shot looked good tonight. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, finally, yeah.
Through three quarters, I was looking at the game and I'm like, yo, RJ stepping up. Like, he knows that that's going to be a player that he's going to be pinned up against for many years to come.
For many years.
Right. So, and I was like, okay, he's taking the challenge. He's trying to say, yo, we equals. You know what I'm saying? But the fourth quarter came around and that kid just took him to lunch, man.
Yeah.
It's a good to know,
I mean,
man.
and you know, he hasn't done that all season, but he's starting to be more consistent doing it. Now, talk about minutes per game. Julius Randle right now is second in the league in minutes per game at 37, behind James Harden. He's averaging 38. You got Fred VanVleet at 37. Damian Lillard averaged 36. Domantas Sabonis 36. R.J. Barrett now, he's down. His minutes are down. R.J. Barrett's now averaging like 34 minutes per game, right? 25th in the league. And then really in the top 25, we only have two guys in the top 25 in minutes per game. All right, that's R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle. We don't have another guy in minutes per game, not even in the top 50 in minutes per game. So, you know, it's those two guys right there, because, you know, we don't have anybody else that deserves 37 or 38 minutes on the team. You know what I mean? So it's really those two guys that are getting those minutes. Do you want to give them a little bit more minutes? I don't know. But if you talk about shortening the rotation, now you're talking about a Burks or a Bullock, you know, their minutes going up a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Or Noel, you know, their minutes going up a little bit more. And then you're talking about a guy like the only other guy you're probably taking out the rotation is Obi.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know, which cuts it
And
down to maybe 9.
That's where I think I'm going with it, because, I mean, I see Burks look him off a lot. I mean, there's just no confidence in him. You know what I'm saying? I see Burks, you know, and Burks to me is a willing passer, but I don't believe he has confidence in him yet. And, you know, he even did like a fake pass to him. He was open. He fake passed, drove to the basket. There's a couple of
Alex Burks a gunner though sometimes.
He looks, I mean, and I'm fine with that. I mean, he's been playing well. To me, he's been like the second best facilitator on the team, behind behind Randall. Especially in that second unit. I like him at the point. I like him at the point, but I don't like him guarding the point, if you catch my drift. You know what I'm saying?
You know, listen, you know, right now, this is why we do the shoot-arounds the next day, because right now, you know, everyone is like, damn, you know, we probably about to go on a 5-game losing streak. Like, people feel like that right now. You know what I'm saying? You know, tomorrow, you know, maybe people feel a little bit better. Hopefully the Knicks come out on Friday and make us feel a little bit better. I do see in the chat, someone said, Daryl Pemberton said that Dang also got injured tonight for the Spurs.
Jesus Christ.
Big men going down like flies, man. And look, we need D Rose back, man. We need D Rose back against Dallas. You know,
I'm not gonna lie, we're not gonna win this game if we don't got D Rose.
This is the thing. This is the thing about D Rose. It's the it is the thing about D Rose, in and out of the lineups, and you can't depend on them. You can't depend on them.
And so that's where I was harping back about us having the third option. I mean, again, right, this is the second stint D Rose has done this with the Knicks where, I mean, I get the COVID thing, so I won't say that, but it's like, dude, he played one game and then he played the Miami game. Next thing you know, he's injured. And again, we could have really used him tonight. You just can't rely on D Rose, man. He does this and it's only going to get worse as he gets older. So
don't say he does this. Say this happens to him.
Right, it happens to him.
What do you mean he did it? What you mean he did it?
But we don't think. But he's not getting injured on purpose. He's not like, let me take this hammer and bang my ankle so I don't play it tomorrow. You know what I mean?
No. I said I excused I excused the COVID. The first thing, well, that was just unexcusable what he did the first time. But yeah, man, you can't rely on D Rose. You just can't.
And that's tough because we really don't know what D Rose is with this team, really, right? We don't know, and it's part of the reason why people, you know, a lot of people want D Rose to be the starter. I don't know if Tom Thibodeau's going to make him the starter because I don't think Tom Thibodeau feels like he's going to be there every single night.
And he
because
doesn't necessarily has to start as long as he finishes.
yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
If he would have finished tonight's game, that last play probably would have gone to him. He probably would have been the guy with the last shot instead of RJ.
Well, I say this: if he was there, maybe we don't even get to this point of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the maddening part about him. That when he's playing, he changes the dynamic of our team so much that I mean, we're almost like a completely different team when he's playing and playing well compared to, when he's injured and when he's not there. So maybe that's something that we could keep in in our holster in the back of our minds when the playoff comes around, that he can be somebody that can win us a playoff game or keep us in many of those, the first series if we get there. You know what I'm saying? He can keep us in the game. So we have at least an ace in the hole as long as he stays healthy.
But the only thing is we need him to get there. We need him to get there. We need him to get there. You know what I'm saying? We definitely, it's going to be a tougher ride to get there if he's in and out. And then when we do get there, if we do get there, we haven't built that real nice chemistry with him. We need him to get there for a good chunk of these games so that we can build that chemistry and really see how everybody works. For the first 10 games, I think it was there, and it was starting to get kind of comfortable with him. Peyton went out with a hamstring issue. He went into the starting lineup, and it was like, okay, here's the transition, right? Here's the transition now. Rose is playing well. I liked the way he looked with Julius Randle, getting Julius Randle easy shots, helping him to get easy shots. I thought that would help Randle down the stretch of games. And then the COVID things happened, and you can't blame him for that. You know what I mean? So the COVID thing happens, and then as soon as he comes back, it's the ankle injury. And we never, them two, Randall and Rose, never get a chance to just build that chemistry. You've seen it against Miami. And if they had more games together, that play is probably successful, right? They were on the right side of the court on the wing. They did a little screen and roll. Randall kind of semi-popped where Rose expected him to roll a little bit more to the basket. So the area that he passed the ball, Randall could have been there, caught it, maybe had to do one little bit of a sidestep in a bucket at the basket. Instead, the ball went out of bounds. It either went out of bounds or it was a steal. But all that was bad communication between the two because they haven't had enough time to make it work, to make it click. You know what I'm saying? Where Randall knows, Randall knows, okay, when he throws that pass, he's going to throw it a little bit ahead and lead me to the basket. He's not going to get it right here. You know what I'm saying? And they build that type of a chemistry. We need Rose to be on the floor to do that.
Yeah, that's another thing. I think we're really bad. We're a really bad pick and roll team. And it's like, God. It's one of the best plays. Is a pillar of a lot of teams' offenses, and we're really bad at it. Like,
we don't have a point guard to run it.
Randall is a popper. He's not a pick and roller. He's a pick and pop guy.
Yeah, right. But see, that's the thing. Either way that they were gonna do it, like Rose expected him to do one thing and Randall was doing another. They just wasn't on the same page, and it's because Rose hasn't been able to be here to play for them to get on the same page. We got. What are we, 24 and 24, 48? What we got, 24 games left to the season?
Yeah.
We need all 24 of those games for them two guys to get it together.
And I think if it's the playoffs he's playing, I think it's more, them taking care of whoever, not just Derrick Rose, whoever's has knick-knack injuries, Bullock, Alfred, anybody who has a little knick-knack injury, they don't try to push him.
So, I don't know about that because Wesley doesn't look healthy right now.
In the playoffs, I think Derrick Rose is playing. If this is a playoff game, he would have been playing tonight.
Yeah,
don't be too sure because Rose don't play around when it comes to his ankles. Like he will sit until he feels right, and I don't blame him because his knee injuries both came off of ankle injuries, coming back off ankle injuries. So,
my thing is just that to get to the playoffs, this team is going to need Rose out there on the floor. That's my big thing. So we need him. We need him as healthy as possible. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that he's out there on the floor. I feel like if Rose isn't out there on the floor, we'll get there, but it's going to be a tough task, a real tough task, and we might be in a play-in. And listen, I'll be happy with it. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be happy with it. It's a start. It's a place to build from. But given where we are, we could probably do better. So I'm hoping for us to do better. So I'm hoping that D Rose, man, please, D Rose, get back. We need you, man.
That's the thing. Being in these tough games that we've been in against the Miami Heat, against these other teams that we've been in close games, Philadelphia, this and that, I thought this would have been a game that we could have pulled out.
Right.
Even at the end of the game, I was like, yo, we're going to win this game. We're going to win this game. We're going to win this game. And I didn't see the team get frustrated or wide-eyed or anything. Even the team probably thought that they were going to pull it out no matter what. And it just didn't happen. So that's the best.
That's how they lost the league, thinking
exactly.
they was going to pull it out.
That's what I was going to say. That might be part of the problem.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah, I was going to say that that's not always necessarily a good thing. That can be a lot of cockiness and thinking that you're better than what you are. Like the great Bill Parcells says, you are what your record says you are. And right now we're a 500 team, so we play half good, half bad. So it's like
we're mediocre.
We're mediocre. And if people can realize that we're mediocre, I think we'll be a better place, man, because it's just, you can't take games for granted now. Like, this is a trickle effect of the game. This is a trickle effect. Now that we lost this game, now we can't lose. Now we can't go 1-on-1. Now we can't go in the next. Now we can't go in the next 4 games. We can't go 500. If we go 500, we might be like some said, we might be in the play-in, which I don't know. It's just a trickle effect, man.
I mean, but you know what? I mean, Isaiah, you're exactly right. Right? You're exactly right. And I don't get to say that much, so I want to take advantage of it while I got a chance
I appreciate it. I'll take my smart dude, man.
But maybe this is again just another learning lesson in the type of loss that they needed to say to realize we're not that team. You know what I'm saying? We can't take nights off. Like the Brooklyn Nets can take a night off and win. The Milwaukee Bucks can sit their entire starting team and almost beat the Knicks. We can't do that. And maybe, they needed just another reminder that they're not that team. So, I don't know. We'll see, man. It is frustrating, but we will see. But look, I'm gonna head out because I'm still kind of mad. Sometimes after the show, I go and maybe look at the fourth quarter of a game, even if we lose. I go look at the fourth quarter and try to say, okay, what exactly happened? I can't do it with this one. I can't do it, and I'm not doing it. I don't want to put myself through it. You know what I mean? I don't want to put myself through it. Anyway, Tony, any last words?
Well, since we was giving Isaiah flowers, I want to congratulate him on the merchandise. I just got my Cooking with Chef Zay shirt. Why don't you guys check that? So,
I was about to say, wait, somebody making money on me? Because I don't know.
But shout out to the chat. Yo, Black is time. Sim, keep doing your thing. Shout out to the petter, Isaiah.
You're a funny dude, Tony. That was pretty funny.
But hey, we do have a little logo coming, so I got to get a little picture of him right now. He doesn't own a chef hat, so when we do the logo, I'm gonna have to put a chef hat on him because I don't know why he doesn't own one. Maybe you can tell me, Isaiah. But we got a nice little logo coming though.
I might have. It's tough. I might have one.
How are you a chef? How are you a chef and you say I might have a chef hat?
Hey.
That don't make no sense.
Anyway,
That's like
Anyways.
That's like RJ Barrett saying, "Yeah, I might have a pair of basketball sneakers, or I might have a pair of basketball shorts."
Hey, listen. I got the Verizon shirts. But listen, Sunday, me and Sim might be having something. We might have something cooking up, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink. So stay tuned, everybody.
Yeah, man. Yeah, stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. And maybe we even get Eddie doing the show. We're gonna have to talk to Eddie. Get Eddie doing something, man. Eddie has some really good takes. We might need to get you to do something. I don't know how you feel about it. We'll talk. You know, we have our own Ebro.
Can't even call him Crazy Eddie because his takes are so on point.
You know what I'm saying? His takes is on point. Can't even call him Crazy Eddie. And you remember them commercials with Crazy Eddie? Those was dope commercials.
Yo, for sure.
I used to love them commercials, man. Crazy Eddie. Anyway, we out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I don't know. I didn't even get around. Isaiah, you got some final words?
I mean, that's pretty much it. But yeah, man. Dallas, it's a must win. It really is a must win. So we got to play hard. That's it. We got to go win.
Yeah. And Eddie, some last words for us, man.
Shout out to you guys. Shout out to you, Sam. Shout out to the chat. I'm hoping, I'm gonna keep my hopes up to see if we have a good showing on Saturday. It is on Friday night against
and Saturday.
Yeah, we got back to back Friday and Saturday. All right, so Dallas and then Detroit, right?
Yep, Dallas and then Detroit.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we come out with some fire and desire and hungry, because this game left a lot to be desired, man, and I don't want to go out like that. And let's see if Randall starts cooking a little bit earlier, because he's been having some slow starts lately, and it hasn't been well for us. But yeah, that's it, man. Just hopefully we pull out a win on Friday against Dallas, man, and we come back on the chat with our hopes high.
Yeah, man. Yeah, hopefully. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys. I'm looking for that same thing, Eddie. I want to see the guys come out with fire and desire, win or lose. I just want to see that fire. I haven't felt like I've seen it for a little bit. Just that fire, doing all the little things, really getting after it. They can almost, they play defense. Like, they know how to play defense, and they get it, and they play hard on the defensive end. I haven't been able to see those extra efforts, the extra effort rebounds, the extra effort diving on the floor. I seen Obi dive on the floor the other day. Those extra effort things, and I know it takes a lot out of the team, but this is what they got to do to win. It's the only way they're going to win the basketball games, man. They got to do it. We'll see. I know Coach Tibbs is lighting into him, already lit into him, and they're on their way back to New York. Play Dallas at home on Friday. I'll catch you tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, on the shoot around. We'll have another reflection on the game, and of course, we'll have a topic to talk about, to get into. Let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you all. Spread love, ladies and gentlemen. We out.